What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Sunday. Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt, my Twitter handle to follow me on Twitter. This podcast being brought to you by BetMGM and the $1,000 first bet offer available to new users at BetMGM.com with the promo code JUICE. All right, it's been a good week. 4 straight winning days. Wasn't a big winning day yesterday because the A's came in and kind of burned us a bit with the minus 140 loss, but the over for the Lakers comes in and hits. And then maybe the most miracle under first period of the season, definitely of the playoffs. I have no idea how in the world we got that right, but whoo, baby, that was good. We'll take that. Scary, but we'll take it. So, up 0.6 units there, and it's been a very good week. We'll do a full recap and accounting on tomorrow's podcast once we finish the entire week. Okay, so I'm not going to make the A's run line bet official because it's really expensive. It's minus 160. Now, I'm betting this, okay? I'm going to do this for a week. I want to see where I'm going to wind up. Some days I'll make it official, but when it's 0.16 units, I really don't like making those plays official because I think it's a little bit of a egregious price to have anybody lay that type of juice. I really don't like going above minus 130, 135, kind of the max for my official plays here on the podcast. So that play is, if you want it, it's there, okay? And I'm betting it. So if you want to bet it, you can bet it. I don't know what to do with the first period for the Knights and the Stars. It's a noon Pacific time start. I want to bet the under in the first period. I think that's probably going to happen, but another part of me thinks this game is going to be pretty high scoring. The Knights have played pretty well during day games, and I just think these teams here in Vegas, at least, they're going to play over games here in Vegas. I don't think they're going to play under games here in Vegas, given Hill, and I know it's Jake Ottinger and everything else. So we'll get to the hockey bets here in just 1 second, but that's the official or the personal play of the day is going to be, I will definitely take the first period, most likely to the over, I don't know, but definitely I'm betting run line for the Astros here on it's Framber on the mound for the Houston Astros. But before I give you the 3 official plays, and I can't have a losing week, so I can lose all 3 of these plays, so it gives me a little bit of flexibility to kind of look at how I'm reading the 2 playoff games here today and kind of go at it in a way that maybe I would be, it's a little aggressive, but I don't care. I'm going to come in with it because we've had such a good week and we're up, so not going to play around. We're on a 11-3 run. So not bad. This is going to cool off at some point, but right now we're hot. Let's see if we can push our luck a little bit here for our picks on a Sunday. But before we do that, let me tell you about the BettingPros app. Have you guys gone and downloaded the BettingPros app yet? If you have not, why not? It's free. Go do it. Sync your sports books in less than a minute to automatically track your bets across all sports books in one spot. I can tell you, as somebody who keeps track of his own record, now luckily BettingPros does it for me, but it's really good to keep track of what you're betting and how you're betting. After syncing, you'll enjoy access to detailed bet analytics by sport and by bet type, including game, picks, props, and parlays. You'll also get insight into and personalized recommendations for props, game picks that are more tailored to your interests. To enjoy the benefits of Sportsbook Sync, download the BettingPros app by visiting bettingpros.com/apps or by searching BettingPros in the App Store. All right. So let's start with basketball, and then we're going to get to the hockey. There's 2 bets in hockey, 1 bet in basketball. The Boston Celtics are minus 3. You just saw the Denver Nuggets beat the Lakers to take a 3-game sit-on lead. No team in the history of the NBA has ever come back down 0-3, okay? It's like 0-149, I think the record is. So Boston knows this, and Boston will have watched what just happened with the Nuggets going on the road and beating these Lakers. This is reverse, okay? Boston has lost the first 2 games at home, and everyone's throwing dirt on the Boston Celtics. Hold on a second. The Celtics on the road this year were 26-21 ATS. The Miami Heat were 19-27-2 at home. Now, I know they're 8-2 over their last 10 games ATS. And I know Boston was favored in the first 2 games and failed to cover. They were big favorites. They were laying 9 in game 2 and 8 in game 1. They lost both games outright. Now they're laying 3 up against the Heat on the road. Now, you look at Miami and look at the way they have played here in these series, and they've been really tough to defeat, okay? We know what they've done what they did in the play-in tournament, how difficult they've been from an out perspective. They lost by 11 points to Atlanta in the play-in game, and they had to come back and beat Chicago by 11 to get in. They were trailing in that game. They won game 1. They lost game 2 to Milwaukee, but then they won the next 2 games at home against the Bucks by 22 and by 5 points. They started on the road against New York. They split those 2 games and then won both games at home, one by 19 and one by 8. Okay. All of these things are going to be followed. The public is going to bet on the Miami Heat. Okay. What just you saw with the Nuggets, everything else, Jimmy Butler. I expect Boston and I expect Jason Tatum to have one of those games here. I don't know who wins game 4. I think the winner of game 4 will win the series. But I think Boston wins game 3, and I think Boston covers. Celtics have been good on the road, but when they play their best, their backs are against the wall. They've got to have the brink. They got to be pushed to the brink, and then you'll see the best out of the Boston Celtics. I think they'll find a way to stop Jimmy Butler enough. Not thinking they're going to win it big, but I think Boston does find a way to win. I'm going to lay the 3 points here. Boston -3 on the road against the Miami Heat here in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, to the Western Conference Finals in hockey. Boy, this is crazy because Ottinger just doesn't lose back-to-back games. I like betting streaks. I like betting hot goaltenders, and I don't think I'm prepared to say that Ottinger is going to lose a game here just given the way he plays after a loss. It's unbelievable. Now, the game may not be pretty. He may give up a couple of goals, but they just find ways to win games after losses. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's like 19-1, Jake Ottinger is, after losses. It's plus money. I don't know if I can. I have to take it. I got to take it. Dallas Stars on the money line to even up the series at 1 game apiece between them and the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas was fortunate in overtime to get the victory in game 1. Maybe the bounces go the Dallas Stars' way. It's plus 105. I'm going to lay the 1 unit down. Plus 105. Dallas money line against the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'm going to bet over 5.5 again. I mean, 4-3 final in game 1. I'm going to bet over 5.5 again. I don't think this is going to be an under series in Vegas. It might be an under series in Dallas. I don't think it's going to be an under series with Hill in net. It could be a 5-1 final. Okay. I might need a 5-1 final if Ottinger stands on his head, but I think Vegas gets a couple of goals here at least, and they might get 3 again. It might be 3-3. We might go to overtime again. It may be that type of series, but I think it's 4-2 is the most likely outcome, the most likely final here. Over 5.5, and it's not even that expensive. It's minus 115 to bet the over. I'm going to drop it 1.15 units down on the over for Vegas and the Dallas Stars. Like I said, normally I don't double up and bet 2 bets in 1 game in case I'm way wrong with the read, but we've had a really good week, and it's, I can be a little more aggressive and bet on both sides if I want. So the 3 official plays: Celtics -3, 1.1 units. Stars plus 104. 105. Stars plus 105 on the money line for 1 unit and minus 1.15 units down on the over 5.5 goals. I also lean, I think the game is going to go over between Miami and Boston. If you want to play on the total, I think over 213.5. I think that's possible, but the first 2 games, the first 2 games have gone over by 27 and 1.5 points. But this year, Miami was, generally an over team, 26-22, but Boston on the road, 22-24-1 to the over. So they were an under team on the road. They were an under team against their division. They were an over team against their conference, against the Eastern Conference, however. So I will have a personal bet on the over as well on the game, but that's just kind of extra. So the official plays are -3 Celtics, over 5.5 goals, Vegas and Dallas money line. The leans or the plays, if you want extra, taking the Astros on the run line, minus 160, taking the over 213.5 for Boston and Miami, and the over in the first period, most likely for Dallas and Vegas, but I'm not positive on that as of yet. I'll probably go with over 2 goals, over 1.5 goals rather, on that. So there's your Sunday. Let's wrap the week on a good note and head off into another week. Hopefully repeat this past week. It's been a good one. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it is the Daily Juice Podcast, being brought to you by BetMGM.